Today, 202 million children in the sub-Saharan Africa are not learning. Across the region, 9 out of 10 of the youth is unable to meet the minimum language proficiency level. Nigeria in particular is witnessing a sudden increase among children and adults unwilling to attend schools and universities at an alarming rate. Nigeria's out-of-school population is the largest in the world and is ever growing. About 10.5 million Nigerian children, especially girls, are not in school even though primary education is officially free and compulsory. With these increasing statistics, it is essential to understand why girls are not attending schools in Nigeria, why these young minds are afraid to sustain continued education. On April 14, 2014, Nigeria witnessed an infamous incident. The abduction of over 300 schoolgirls from their dormitories while awaiting final exams. Ever since, certain groups and opportunity criminals have created an insecure atmosphere. Multiple schools have been targeted and successful kidnapping operations mounted even in areas outside the insurgent stronghold. Such actions have shaken the confidence of parents not only in the value of education, but also in the ability of authorities to protect wards within what is supposed to be a sacred environment.
The threat created by these incidents is the negative long-term effect on the students, especially girls. The existence of any emotional, cognitive, social, and physical effects of abduction exerts tremendous pressure on the ability of students to learn and be creative. According to the UN, the goal of SDG 4 is to ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. This noble attempt of ensuring greater access to quality education flies in the face of these challenges. Moreover, SDG 5 that calls for gender equality is the stake in countries like Nigeria. The present insecure situation in Nigeria, where girls are unable to attend schools and higher education institutions, is not only degrading the education quality but also tarnishing the social fabric of the country.
Recent research focusing on analyzing the effects of e-learning in Nigeria show that the use of traditional teacher-centered method is predominant even in online classrooms. Studies highlight 67% students complain of being unable to interact with their peers and teachers during the teaching and e-learning process. 95% students in Nigeria view online learning as demanding in terms of time and commitment, which is not possible when lessons are planned around the traditional method of teaching. As a result, there is a pressing need for introducing innovation methods for instruction that can facilitate e-learning in Nigeria. One such a creative tool to promote e-learning is creating lessons with digital storytelling, which is the practice of creating short stories by drafting scripts, narrating, synthesizing content and graphs, and producing it using various online tools. Its significance has been recognized globally.
The worst affected group due to the insurgent activity in Nigeria are girls. As reported by UNICEF, unfriendly school situation and violence against girls are some prevailing factors that hinder their education. The growing insecurity not only discourages them from attending schools, but also have a devastating effect on their behavior and attitude towards the learning process. Although e-learning has proven effective to enhance girls' accessibility to education in Nigerian context, but the past studies highlight that the dropout rates are still higher among girls. The reason for the increasing dropout rate of girls in Nigeria and their inability to sustain online learning are negative attitude and lack of motivation. Thus, it becomes a prerequisite to introduce pedagogical practices that takes into consideration these elements. This would ensure a more stable classroom environment where girls would feel encouraged to participate and sustain their education, providing hope for realizing SDG 4.2 and SDG 5 in Nigeria to a certain extent.
Based on what is mentioned before, this study attempted to design and develop learning module based on digital storytelling to promote student-centered e-learning in Nigeria, to evaluate its efficiency in Nigerian context, to investigate the challenges in adopting this approach, to highlight the effect of digital storytelling on motivation of Nigerian schoolgirls in language learning, and also to examine its effects on their attitude.
The present research adopts a mixed research methodology. The population considered girls from local schools in Nigeria by picking random sampling technique. Questionnaires would be used to collect quantitative data to test the effectiveness of DST-based online module. Pre- and post-tests would be conducted to analyze the transition from teacher-centered to student-centered learning. Also, a qualitative method employing interviews will be used to gauge the experience, level of motivation, and attitude of Nigerian girls towards e-learning. The analysis of data would involve descriptive and inferential statistics and content analysis.
The present research precisely targets SDG 4 to achieve quality education by providing innovative e-learning opportunities in developing countries like Nigeria. The aim of this research is to promote student-centered remote learning methods. Such an approach assists in fostering relevant educational skills and building effective learning environment, which is essential to achieve SDG 4.
The research would also promote a visible blueprint for a future-oriented approach to language learning in the post-pandemic context, which would enable both teachers and learners to adapt flexibility of the first-century education demand even in regions with a minimal learning opportunities.
The implication of this study would significantly contribute in developing comprehensive curriculum and in providing a guideline to instructors, academicians, teachers, as well as curriculum developers. It is expected that the new knowledge generated by this research would assist in transforming learning policy and practice across similar global contexts.
This research also aims to promote viable solutions to achieve SDG 4.2 and 4.5. Our study investigates the effect of digital storytelling on the attitude and motivation of Nigerian girls towards e-learning environment. Employing teaching methods that account for increased motivation and positive attitude towards learning process would clearly assist Nigerian girls to attend and sustain their education. Once girls in Nigeria are active in receiving education via e-platforms, the issue of gender disparity would significantly reduce in educational settings. SDG 5.1, that calls for ending gender disparity everywhere, is also a key element targeted with this research. Once Nigerian girls are self-driven to sustain remote education, positive women participation would reflect in every sphere.
The results from this study also targets SDG 4C for addressing the gaps in teacher training while adopting student-centered e-learning approach. This would gravitate the attention of Nigerian academics towards teacher professional development programs to recruit trained and qualified educators for imparting quality education.
Our research would also inspire swift solutions to ensure not only SDG 4 and 5, but also catalyze the achievement of SDG 9 that call for fostering innovation by highlighting the promising potentials of digital storytelling on an e-learning platforms. Our research would encourage institutions and government bodies across Nigeria to provide technical support, as in SDG 9A, support domestic technical development in SDG 9B, and provide access to ICT and Internet, as in SDG 9C.
We hope for a sustainable and inclusive future, because when you educate a woman, you educate a nation.